So finally, after 4 months on the market, my house is finally sold. Now I can actually get to work on getting moved out of here. I mean, I retire in only maybe 3 weeks. I have only 7 days of work left. And so I have a lot of work to do in order to get everything ready for, finding a sailboat and sailing around the world. Well, at least cruising for a long number of years at any rate. Don't know if I'll actually make it all the way around the world, but you know, that's probably not really the point. The point is really to enjoy life and to make the most of the time that I actually have here. I live in a really, really beautiful area, but it's time to say goodbye to all of this. So after 22 years at Costco and in several departments, I finally retired and said goodbye to many friends. I packed up, sold, and donated almost everything that I owned, keeping only my precious mementos and, of course, my motorcycle. I'm gonna miss this house and all the memories. I miss Kelowna, the Okanagan Valley. It's been home for a number of years already. I miss you guys. I moved the remainder of my belongings across the Rockies and stored them at my mom's place. As I did not own a boat of my own yet, I was able to help my friend Rob sail his boat from New York down to West Palm Beach down in Florida. I made a 2-part video series of that trip, and you're more than welcome to have a look if you're interested. I'll leave a link in the description. After returning back to Canada, and while still in quarantine, I started researching to find my own boat. I had been looking for quite a while, but never found the one I was really looking for. Then I saw a listing in a Facebook group for a design of boat that I have long sought after. So I'm sitting here, actually typing up a purchase agreement to buy a hardened 45 sailboat in San Diego. Maybe this will actually be my new home. So in mid-December, in the middle of a deep freeze, I flew down to San Diego to go check out the boat. Good morning, everyone. I'm standing on Shelter Island here, right by the San Diego Bay. And I'm here to look at a sailboat. One that's actually right just out here. I'm going to have a look at it actually just in about an hour or so. Really super excited. It's a beautiful boat. Today's the day that I'm going to have a survey done on the boat. Basically, a professional inspector is going to check the boat out and all its systems. So I'm just about to head over there now. It's beautiful here day in San Diego, and it's gonna be a wonderful day for sure. Hopefully everything checks out with the boat, and soon it will be mine, and I'll actually have a home. I won't be so homeless anymore. Well, I just bought a boat. Actually, this boat. I actually can't believe that I just bought this boat, but let's have a look. This is how I found her. She's kind of been sitting for the last 6 months, so there's lots of bird poop and stuff around. But all in all, there's some really good foundations. There's a lot of work to be done, but there's a lot of really, really beautiful boat to be had. It's going to be great. A nice classic old style butterfly hatch here. Just a small one, but it's been recently refinished. It looks really good. So we want to polish the brass on that. If we look forward, you can see right on the very front there's actually a furling head sail, and then there's a stay sail which is tucked up in here as well, and then we have the mainsail here, and then back beyond that there's another mast, and that is where the mizzen is. So this boat can easily fly 4 and possibly even 5 sails at the same time. Should give me lots of options, that's for sure. But you can see it's you need a little bit of TLC. There's definitely a lot of bird poop around. This is the outboard that comes with it. There isn't an inflatable that is yet to be inflated where that outboard will go onto. But for right now, I've got the little sailboat that I can use to row ashore. And coincidentally, the sailboat is one of the types of boats that I used to teach sailing to kids on. I wasn't rarely sailing in them, but I was teaching some of the beginner students about them. And we've got the helm station. Just kind of ignore my luggage there because this is when I'm first moving aboard. Let me get the key and then I can unlock her and we can have a look down below decks. Okay. Well, welcome everybody to my new home. For how many years, I have no idea. There we are. So obviously you can see a galley over on this side. And then we have a nice dinette. And then down below here we have a nice seating area, a couple of chairs. There's actually a berth up on top here. And then there is a bench here that pulls out and also becomes a berth. So I have lots of room for guests, hint, hint, hint. And then all the way up at the front here, there's even 2 more berths. This one up top here is just for storage at the moment. These ones would be probably for people not as tall as I am because they wouldn't be quite fitting enough. As we go back here, back this way, this is where the nav station is. There's a fridge and freezer compartment just under in here. And then we go all the way back, and this is where the captain's room is, the stateroom. So it even has really nice port lights at the back, kind of like an old galleon, like a pirate ship. And then this way is actually where the bathroom is, the head on a boat. And it has access from both sides. Even has a full stand-up shower compartment in here. You can also seat in, as well as the head. Probably going to change this out to a more composting one. And then back into the dining area. So this is going to be an amazing trip. A long adventure for sure. First full day on the boat. I have a lot of work to do. It's a bit overwhelming at the moment. I had a lot of exercise, partially known and some unknown, unexpected I should say, with having to go for a quick swim to shore, but maybe I'll tell you about that later. But yeah, the boat's coming along. There's lots of work to be done, but I'm really, really excited. This boat is going to be so beautiful. She has such gorgeous lines. You're going to love her. So what I was alluding to earlier when I had mentioned about having to go to shore and showing that shot of the dinghy, that first time that I was on board the boat by myself for, I think it was about 3 hours, I had moved half of my luggage over. I had rowed over with that little sailboat and I tied it up in the back with the little painter that was on it. And I spent about 3 hours on the boat just going around looking through all the different drawers and seeing what was really here on the boat, and was really excited. And I was in the back stateroom in the aft cabin and admiring those beautiful windows that are there, and I thought to myself, gee, I wonder, I should be able to see the dinghy from here. And I didn't. And so I quickly ran outside and looked at the back, and sure enough, no dinghy was there. There was this much of cord left and no dinghy in sight. It had sheared off on a piece of metal on a rub rail. As you can see from that little clip, there was a bit of foreshadowing there. The way it was bouncing around, it must have just sheared right off of that. So I'm here on a boat, and I'm in the United States. My Canadian cell does not work in Canada, or sorry, in the States, and I had not restarted this cell phone, which has a US T-Mobile account. That one had not been reactivated yet. So I had no way to communicate outside. I tried to flag down another boater. I have no way to communicate or do anything, so I ended up swimming to shore. Once I got to shore, I then walked back to the hotel room. The only thing that I swam back with was the little card key for the hotel room. Got back in the hotel room, had a shower, messaged the previous owner. He suggested right away that I contact the harbor police, which I did, and sure enough, they had found it. It had blown all the way across the other side of the bay, and it was over at the police dock, which was about a kilometer or so walk down the other side of Shelter Island, where I already was. So then I walked all the way down and saw that the dinghy was there in their compound, and there's a phone there, so I picked it up, and then a couple of officers came out in a little bit, and then started describing the dinghy. Yep, that's all fine. And then they asked me for some ID. I said, well, I don't have any because I had to swim to shore, so my wallet and passport and everything like that were back on the boat. So at first they weren't going to give it to me, and then the one officer, he had asked, said there was a strap on board and with a tag, and I couldn't think of what he was thinking of or referring to. I'd only had the boat for a couple of hours at that point. And so finally it dawned on me that he was referring to a luggage strap, a blue and red luggage strap that used to be my mother-in-law's. So I actually described it, mentioned the address that was inside it, and even mentioned that if he took the tag out and reversed it, there would be my mother-in-law's address in Saitama, in Omiya. So he knew right for sure that that was definitely my boat. So then I had to row all the way back to the boat here to Lost Pearl, grab my other things, and then row back ashore again, and then go to the hotel room, and then finally crash for the night. So that's why I was extremely tired, and maybe a little bit off after that. Just I was really, really tired. But yeah, that was a good way to start my adventure for sure. Thanks very much for watching the first episode. There's lots more to come as I go through the boat, check all its systems, start cleaning things up, like all that bird poop. And then they'll be getting ready to head off to Mexico. So if you liked the video, like, subscribe, please comment and let me know what your thoughts are. And have a great day. Take care. Thanks very much for watching the first episode. It was a lot of... Why? I gotta think of something to say. Thanks very much for watching that first episode. And the sun is right in my face. Where do I need to stand? But I would, with all that sun in my face...